evening. I've not forewarned Beverly that I've gone live, and Tappy McTapperson is just there doing some work-ins. We're live, Bev, we're live. And she's coughing. She's coughing. She's got the corona, we think. We think she's got the corona. Am I allowed to declare this?
Well, it's a bit late now, isn't it? Seeing as you have.
It is a bit late. So she's just been for a test. So we'll find out, hopefully, the results in the next 24 hours. They are quite quick. When I had my test earlier in the summer, they turned it around in about, I think, 24 hours. But somebody's mother, and it's not my mother, somebody's mother.
Dolly.
The cat, not the cat's mother. Actually, there you go. Look, I'm going to show you my crotch. Look at that. Snoofing and floofing away on my lap. Dolly's mum's not been positive for corona, but somebody's mother's been tested positive for corona. She was with us 7 days ago. And so, yeah, 6 days. So I haven't had any symptoms. I've not had any loss of taste or smell, sense of smell, or heating, coughing. Bear's been coughing a little bit today, but of course it ends up being a little bit psychosomatic with it all. And yeah, we'll find out. If Bev is positive, then yeah, I guess I'll have to go for a test and see from there. Anyway, that's the latest news. I thought I'd just update you on that. Hello to you all. Second day of Lockvember. Therefore, I'll be doing this every day. Well, actually, no, I won't be doing this every day. We'll be going live every day. For example, on Wednesday, Gabby and Hannah will still be doing their parkrun pedia. I met Gabby earlier today at Bushy Park. Had a chat. I've had a chat with Hannah. They're just going to try and tweak it in a few places. Try and make it a bit more digestible, because we recognise, and I recognise, there's a lot of time constraints on people's ability to want to consume lots of things. Attention spans. My attention span is terrible at the moment because of everything that's going on. It's really hard to really focus and concentrate. And so I recognise that when we're outputting things, I want to make sure that you're engaging with it. I want to make sure that you feel that you want to watch us. And also, I don't want it to be a monologue. I want it to be a dialogue. And of course, this new StreamYard thing that we have, which we didn't have at the beginning of the first lockdown, it makes that possible. So we're all very conscious about how much we impinge every day with what you guys do, as well as a pod on top of things. So we'll be recording tomorrow night, 8 o'clock. I might ask Nicola if we can go live while we record. It's a bit fun. We did that for the 100th, and we think, well, I think it could work again, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Depends on our potato internet. Anyway, so like I say, dialogue with you guys. So let's say hello to you all. Michelle Lamar, hello. Hello with me now. Emma Shaw, hello. Andrea Crowley, Nicola Headland. Shout outs to you all. Everyone's saying hello. Michelle Lamar, I'm happy it's post-work too. Yeah, no, I've been busy today. I went over this to Bushy Park. I'm going to add this to the stream. I'll turn that off from Michelle. It's like piloting an airplane, doing 3 things at once. And also having a cat on my lap in a huff. She doesn't like it when I talk very loud. It's just, when you be quiet, she says, because I'm vibrating into the lap. But that there, let's make it bigger. And let's make it bigger again. So you're going to see me pop off for a second. There. That is the Bushy Park tree. Now, it's the tree. So obviously I'm being cheeky when I say it's the tree. This is the finished tree at Bushy Park. The one that the logo is based on, falsely. And if we have a bit of a zoom in, you'll see it's been fenced off. So just to the just the right way where we're looking is where around, and just there, as we look at it to the left, where many years ago the event used to start before it got switched around and changed. It had a few iterations. It's had a big chunk break off. So, I mean, it wouldn't have affected the park run, I don't think, particularly, because of course actually what it would have done, it would have finished. It would have affected the finish funnel. So they've had to go around it, but it wouldn't have affected the actual finish line itself. So yeah, bit of news for you there. The parkrun tree, the tree. Yeah, I'm afraid it's got bust. I was in Bushy Park earlier today, so that was a bit of a shame to see. But I hope it's nothing to do with illness. I hope it's nothing to do, because I know that some of the trees, certainly along Chestnut Avenue, they have been affected by some disease. I don't know if it's Dutch elm disease or something. So they've had to be cut down. I'm just hoping that it was a bit of a top-heavy branch and some wind has blown it off, because we've had a lot of wind in the past few days. So I'm just hoping it's artificial, if that makes sense. Anyway, right, hello to everybody that's watching. How are you doing? How are you all? Please say in the comments. I want to know how you're feeling. Obviously, second day of November, but it's not lockdown yet. Lockdown is in November. Sorry, on Thursday. And what does that mean for you? How does that affect you? How does that change your going about business? Because I've noticed that I get the impression people are rushing around doing lots of things before everything becomes a lot compressed for the next 4 weeks, and potentially they can't seem to get the communications together. But Michael Gove says it may go on longer. Boris saying it's not going to happen. So have you been behaving differently since Saturday and when all the announcements are made? Gabby near Waste and Train. So Gabby, yes, I was with Gabby at Bushy Park earlier having a chat about all things. Actually, I was doing a tourism thing. I was doing the parkrun tourist thing. I had a guide around Bushy Park and we had her on the start line. That'd be quite a good thing to do. Eventually, you parkrun down the line, you have like a parkrun tour guide and they show you all the important parts. Just like the video that PSH did when he walked around with Vassos, showing all the important parts and the original iteration of the very first course. There's a lot of interest, a lot of people who have like to be there and see it firsthand. It's very different than seeing it in pictures. Anyway, hello to everyone. Everyone keeps saying hello, hello, hello. I do apologize if I miss any comments. The amount of time I get around to the comments, I've missed a bunch of stuff. So James White, look, James White, no, not the tree. Will you have to completely redesign all parkrun logos because the tree has changed shape? You have to scratch the R bit off, the bit where it has the R. So yeah, I've got this just there. So yeah, I'm afraid, yeah, that bit there, you have to scratch it off all your bottles now to make it more relevant. You wouldn't have to do that really because it's not the tree. It's not the tree. And yeah, right. Poor tree, says everybody. Yeah.
You're worried about the tree, not about me.
No one's actually worried about Bev. Yeah, so Bev's protesting. She said, why has no one commented about Bev? Unless I've missed the comments. So yeah, Drew Edwards, I mean, he's self-isolating. Oh, there we go. Yes, don't worry. People do care for you. Best wishes to Bev. Gabby Near. Get well soon, Bev. Sorry, I missed the comments. They do care for you, Bev. They do. I hope you're okay, Bev. Anita Platt. Sorry, I completely missed it. Hope Bev stays okay with it. I hope I stay okay. If I do get it, then I hope I am okay, because there's no guarantee of it all. I know it affects us elder people with more health conditions. Still out to Bev. But yeah, it's not a guarantee that it won't have an effect or other effects outside of, it's not necessarily death. I mean, Michael Rosen's a guy that I've been watching. He was really badly affected by it, and it's having long-term effects on his health. Lost sight in his eye. I think he can't hear in one of his ears. And so there are other things. And Bev was saying, I don't know if it's true, that there's a side effect. Apparently impotence is a side effect. I'm sure that if young people actually heard that and went, hang on a minute, I don't know if I'm going to be quite so frivolous in my actions, maybe it'll have an effect. Anyway, what's that saying? Just that, Lucy Mouse, does that mean you will do a live results show like Strictly? I don't know what that's in reference to. I do apologise. And then, so yeah, get well to Bev. People are saying get well, and then get well to the tree, and then how are you, people? Let's see how you're doing. Stuart Brandwood, I waved back, lol, toward Bev. That's fine. You can wave to Bev. We know that you've done it. Give Bev some party rings quickly, says Karen Spackman. Don't give her party rings. You mustn't do that. You do care about Bev, not the wrong tree. When I'm all good, I can walk with you. How are you? Here we go. What's this? Ian Thompson. I should read it before I put them up in case they're inappropriate messages. I'm rather annoyed. I can only collect for the Poppy appeal tomorrow and Wednesday because of the Ian. Okay. Yes, I should have read that. I know it's really easy for me to say, but try and invest energies. It is what it is now. And don't let it get to you. Try not to be angry because it will just... the spiral. We have a choice of two paths now to try and remain positive and be a good, I guess, a good driving force in the next few weeks. It's out of our hands, and just we can be frustrated and we can be annoyed, and trust me, I really am too. But make sure you try and invest your energies about. Don't get annoyed at what they're doing. We know that they've bodged it. We know they came in too late, but we have to do, I guess, play with the hand we've been dealt and deal with it in the best way. Elizabeth Shazam, so of course Wales are very different. Sorry if I'm doing this with my nose. Dolly is doing her flute for release. I can actually see, you might be able to see it on the camera. Elizabeth Shazam, we've been locked down to local areas since 8th of September, because of course in Wales, 5 break lockdown since 23rd of October. Excited to be able to travel beyond area from 9th of November. I believe you're not allowed. They're going to ban you from coming into England, if I'm not mistaken, if I read the news right earlier. Anyone else here? Rebecca Miles, Craig here. Are you okay? Am I okay? Yeah, I guess. I mean, this entertains me just as much as I hope it engages with you guys. I did drop a message to Nicola saying, Nicola, I'm going live at 7. I didn't want to say, do you want to come on? She's like, oh, have a good time. I'm like, no, it's not what I'm asking. I'm trying to imply for you to come on and have a chat with us. Anyway, I don't want to keep you too long because I know it's coming up to 7:15, 7:30. I don't know what's on TV. I don't watch TV very much nowadays. It could be Bake Off for all I know. I don't want to interfere with you guys watching that. I know Strictly happens at the weekend. I heard about that on the radio earlier. Apparently it goes on for like 18 hours on Saturday, and then the results show an hour later. We are banned. Yes, I was right. So duo, but we are banned from travelling outside of Wales and vice versa. Yeah, understandable. Stuart Brandwood, my wife works in a hospital in Liverpool. Trust me, this lockdown is necessary, evil, not a moment too. So yeah, I agree. I said on the podcast a couple of weeks ago, you either do something or nothing. I couldn't stand the ambiguous, drawn out, arbitrary tier system that wasn't having an effect, and we either try something or nothing. And we've gone for the something now. And all in, I guess, on this side of things. Just want to have a sip of water, sorry. My mouth gets a bit dry when I talk very much, and it is the new with me now, little coffee cups. Only 100 of these are being made. They're limited. They're going to go to the patrons, and I'll be releasing those soon to patrons. But I like them. They're quite snazzy. But if you've not seen it before, there's With Me Now logo, and that's it. But yeah, only made 100 of those. Nereni van der Blakey. I'm still working during lockdown, but outdoor preschool is the best way, spending all day in the forest. Yeah, getting outdoors, absolutely. Outdoors is best. It just gives you that fresh air feeling. People is chatting amongst themselves. Amanda O'Reilly, try hard not to get it, stay safe, stay home. Absolutely. Craig Miles, love the podcast. It keeps me company while I do kids' paper round. Thank you, Craig. It's much appreciated. And then Ian, there we go. It sounds like you need a bit of get things off your chest, Ian. I remain angry at their continued mishandling of the situation. Absolutely. But you have a choice to remain angry about it. But there's futility in what you can do about it right now. You can't get rid of them. You can't vote them out. The public general opinion will be out there. They'll recognize that. But if you get really angry about it, it's only going to bring you down more. And so try and remain unhappy with what they're doing, but don't get angry because you'll just beat yourself up. You'll burn up inside about it all. And like I say, you can only deal with the things that are local to you the best way possible and stay safe, ultimately. They look amazing, said the cups. Thank you very much, patrons. And then some of you guys are going to, I'm afraid, unfortunately, going to have to miss out because I don't think there's going to be enough. I thought I'd over-ordered, but I think I've maybe under-ordered by the looks of it. And Emma Shaw, well, thank you, Emma. It is my dinner after this. Held it off to be here. But I'll be going very shortly, so you can go and have your dinner. I bet I'm going to do some extra show note writing. Anthony Howe, I've been listening to With Me Now from the start over the past few days. So nice to hear about you and Nicola touring. Sorry, you touring and Woodhouse more. Yeah, for Nicola. Yeah, Nicola touring. She doesn't go to us. I always Woodhouse more every week. And that's it. Evening all, says Heloise. Heloise is coming in. Oh, we have some fantastic thing in the pod this week from Helen. Oh, she's done a heck of a job. I cannot wait. I cannot wait to put it in the pod. Two things, as a matter of fact, both influenced by me. And of course, Helen has taken that ball. I mean, the rugby ball, I've chucked it to her. And then creatively she's going, right, here we go. I'm going to then run with it. And then she's morphed into American football because she's then gone for a touchdown, as far as I'm concerned. So, yeah, she's done a fantastic job. And I think you guys are going to be impressed. We have some very talented people involved in the With Me Now community because, of course, everybody loved Stuart's arbitrary a jingle. You don't care about arbitrary. You don't care about bats. Yeah. Val Perigo. Hello, Val. You're in New Zealand. I still get to read a report from my brother in New Zealand every week. I like that. Absolutely. Yes. Absolutely, you do get to read the reports, and this is the one thing I'm probably going to sign off. I'll have a few more comments, and I'll say that, and let me know in the comments if you agree or not. That, like last night when I spoke to Lorna from Guernsey Park Run, I am very conscious because people said, "Are you going to go live every time a country comes back? Are you going to go and see speak to them, because we could have done Japan. Of course, we nearly did with Poland. Of course, you've got different areas of Australia. We could have gone back when New Zealand did. I have a feeling that it's a two-edged sword, that we celebrate them coming back, but it's also a slap in the face. And I don't mean it as one with intent. I mean it with if we do that, and hopefully you can hear me, by the way. Normally I'm meant to have the microphone nearer the mouth, but I've not been able to sit near the microphone because this is refusing to remove off my lap, and I let Dolly or Bev, I let Dolly get too much control. The slap in the face about, look, parkrun's coming back, but you can't be there. And it makes it hard because you want to feel good for them, but at the same point, it just reminds you about what you're missing out on. So I'm really hyper conscious about every time we go and celebrate parkrun coming back in stages, it feels like it's being brought back, but we've also had that carrot dangled. And at the moment, it feels further away than ever, because we had that impression that we'd get through the summer and it would be back. And then, of course, we're now in this position where we don't know the roadmap out of here. It could be January, February, March. And of course, you had the naysayers flinging mud. Of course, if you fling enough mud, it sticks, saying it won't be back at this time, or we didn't want to believe them. And they may have been right for whatever reason. They may have just been throwing dates out there, but we didn't want to believe them because the thought of it being so long was actually quite depressing. So I'll look through the comments. Am I kind of hitting the nail on the head with the general feeling that if we do keep going to parkrun events and celebrating locations that are coming back, does that make you feel sad that you can't be there too, and therefore reluctant, or maybe a little bit not unwilling, but you don't want to see it because of course it reminds you of everything that you've lost? So yeah, I'll have a look in the comments when that comes through on obviously there's a delay as I speak, so it's going to have a look at some of the other comments. Oh, my mum's come in. Good evening, Danny. I walked to Bev, and fingers crossed for you and Bev. I think we'll be okay because it's a week ago and we've not had any what's the effects of it and symptoms. Val Perigo, I always look forward to the podcast. Thank you. And then before I go, because I always overdo it, 15 minutes is meant to be what I was meant to say. Everyone's saying hello to my mum. Thank you. She's missing parkrun, and so is my dad enormously. They're volunteering every week, but they're doing very well and staying safe. Hello, girls. Look, everyone's chatting to my mum. Yeah, go and have a good old chat with her. Still not learning how to do. She can do emojis. Look, she can see the emoji there. Just doesn't know how to do that reaction. Just go and like, but then scroll the mouse over a little bit and then do like a heart or a care or even angry if you want to, mum. Even an angry. Val Perigo, hi, darling. And then where are we? I love seeing Parkrun Phoenix from the Flames. Okay. Note, share the joy. Says Stuart Brandwood, the lives from New Zealand are also absolutely fantastic. I do have to look at the engagement levels because of course we had an enormous engagement for New Zealand, quite a big for Australia, and then it's kind of dipped a little bit. I think that, there is a general apathy from the general people about parkrun, not because they dislike parkrun, because where was I reading? Andrew Lawrence was on last night, and he shared a link to an Oxford United blog post that said that it's very hard to keep an interest in something that you love when it's a shell, or maybe like a hollowed out version of. You ask yourself about how and why you're engaging with it still. So trying to keep that flame burning, trying to find something to talk about, like tonight. Just trying to keep that connectivity. It's the people in the community that surround it that's most important, and it's very important during the run itself. But it's those who took part as it is, not worrying about the ins and outs behind the scenes, don't know what an event director is, don't know who PSH is, don't care much more about just the functionality. They just do the run. They don't care about web FMS and everything else. Then rightly so, those guys are going to find it very hard to have the care of it. 1 second before you go. She just jumped off the lap. Let's say hello to this little floofy monk. Hello, Bubba. Look, she's half awake because she's been sleeping on my lap for about 90 minutes. You all right? So yeah. Let's have a few more comments in here. Look how passive she is in my arms. I love details from other parkruns, says Nicola Wright. I do miss it and I'm a bit jealous, but would much rather hear about it. Okay. And then Claire Mullin, it was great hearing how Guernsey went. Love the lives from New Zealand and Northern Oz, but agree. And she's trying to go. Hang on, one more kiss. Thing is, she's like, oh, get off me. And yet she pesters me and follows me everywhere. So it's always attention on her terms. Dolly or Bev. And Definitely, what's this? Says Alicia, definitely Nicola, Dr. Nicola, and Hannah Perrin would be a fourth. Are you chatting about random things in the chat again? And okay, so the general consensus from people watching, commenting says they do want to see it, but I do recognise, I can see the analytics, and you guys are captive audience, I think, and you are engaged. So I appreciate your views, but I wonder if the general consensus is quite the same. You guys are very, very passionate and love everything that we do, and I appreciate that. But I am also aware that I don't want to rub it in your faces that Parkland's happening and you can't be there. So it's a kind of balancing act, isn't it, really? Anyway, right, I can see the numbers are going down. Everyone wants to go. It's late, 20 minutes. Last but not least, Lucy Maris, also without the lives, I would never have heard about the Guernsey Bears. Yeah, with Intersport, who aren't sponsors anymore. There you go. Right. Take care, everybody. Emma Poole, so glad you're doing this, Danny. We need to hold on to the things we hold dear. Thank you, Emma. I love you, and I agree with you entirely. So let's do this. Don't forget to give us a like and subscribe if you're watching us on YouTube or if you're on Facebook. Tell people about us. If they need something to preoccupy themselves, go and watch Netflix. Go and watch The Mandalorian on Disney Plus. Go and enjoy yourself. And as I told Mark Brocklehurst the other day, thank you, Dan. Stay chipper. I didn't tell him that. I said to Mark when I saw him in Brighton on Friday, he was questioning himself about going to get a coffee. And I went, you know what? Go and do it. Go and get a coffee. Go and, why not? And then live life, enjoy it while we can, as we've all learned and had it rammed home that it is very important to make the most of life in a positive fashion, because it can be taken and snatched away from you very suddenly. Go and have a coffee. Go and give someone a hug. Go and give someone a message. Go and send up a love heart to people just because it's nice to do and you're thinking of them, and just say that you love them and stay strong. It is a very weird year. It's a very weird time. And I'm going to be here, and so are the others, and Nicola and everyone else, to make sure that you guys feel connected. We aren't going anywhere. We're going to be here, and we're going to make sure that you feel connected every single day through this lockdown. So take care, everybody. Thank you, Ali Shepherd. Love hearts to you. Yellow love hearts to all of you. Actually, I'm going to leave that up. And Karen Spackman, I'm going to leave that up too, and they'll sign out and take myself away. And I'm going to go and enjoy a bit of Netflix and chill myself. All right. Take care, everybody. Love to you loads. And then, Nicola, if you're watching, sort your potato internet out and join me. And then we can have a bit more fun together. And actually, do you know what? We're going to have more games, Pictionary and other things. We're going to be making lots of games in the coming weeks. Okay. Ta-ra, everyone. Love you all. Bye-bye.